Hello, everyone. Um, how are you all doing? I have to tell you that indeed Tyler is a bit late. Like some of you already said in the chat. Maybe he hit the juice a little bit too hard last night. But nevertheless, I will try to uh, hold this campfire together with Ashwin. For sure, we're gonna have a fun time. Yeah, I think he forgot his coffee. That must be it. Without further ado, I want to introduce uh, well, one of the developers of Kadena Campfire, Ashwin.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Ashwin. Great to have you on. I think this is your first time, right, at
Yeah,
Campfire?
yeah, it's my first campfire.
Um, so yeah, it's nice to have you. I think we had a lot of questions,
Good.
but for sure, for first we need to do a quick intro about the Kadena updates we're having. So I think the first update we're gonna do is like last week. Uh, Last week's was the most watched campfire ever with Will and Stewart. For sure, we are not going to top that one. Um,
Never know.
but a fun fact is over 400 limited NFTs have been claimed. So make sure to tune in for like next future episodes. I think we're gonna do this more times because I think everybody just loved Steven's NFTs. Um, um, so yeah, we're gonna do this proof of attendance NFTs more often. Um, so yeah, be sure uh, to get into the next campfires as well. One of the things we also did is we announced a collaboration with Various IO and Superconnectors IO. And I think Superconnectors was also somewhere beginning of September. They're going to announce it. They're going to do a very big press release. And maybe I can tell you a little bit more about Superconnectors later as well. But what they're going to do, they're going to leverage our tools to actually build a product to connect startups and key industry players and let them have a sort of feeling with our blockchain technology without them even knowing they're using blockchain technology. So that's a real cool use case I'm very stoked about. And that probably or hopefully can give us a lot of business leads as well. Um, so that was one other update. Another one we have is we have a new community leader, Dave. I just spoke to him a couple of hours ago. And you will see in a few minutes. Let us, as a community, give him a warm welcome as well. News from our team, the Kadena Developer Experience team. We just released an extension of Echo Wallet, Kadena client library. Maybe
Yeah.
Ashwin, you can tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I can. Also, your connection seems a bit wobbly, so you're not. I'm not sure if everybody understood what we were talking about, but I can surely update you guys on the last thing we did. So we released another version of our Kadena client. We already had a function to sign a transaction with Wallet Connect. We had a function to sign with Chainweaver, so it's very easy to create your transaction, and then when you're done with it, and you can then sign it with either Chainweaver or Wallet Connect. But then there's also Echo Wallet, which has a browser extension with an API, and now it's also possible to sign the transaction very easily with that extension. So it's just like it's only 3 lines of code where it will set up the connection with the wallet automatically if it's not there already. So you get the pop-up from the wallet, you click accept, and then you're ready to sign your transaction. So we made it even easier to sign your transaction, and you can also do it with other with other wallets. Like if you use Koala Wallet, then Wallet Connect is an option. But now as a dev developer, you have the option to show multiple options and leave the choice of wallet to the user themselves. So that's a nice addition, and we're planning on adding more of these wallet adapters, as we like to call them, to open up more possibilities to get your transaction signed.
Yeah, I really like that as well, and maybe it's also a good bridge to like the pre-asked questions we got. So what does Kadena client seamless integration with browser extension Echo Wallet mean for us developers? That was a question George P asked.
Yeah, I think the seamless is you want your users to be to make it as easy as possible for them to sign. And I think Echo did a great job by building that wallet with just a nice pop-up and signing. But then on the other hand, there's also the seamless part of the developer. So we as Kadena want to make it very easy to use the functions that Echo provide to sign your transactions. So I think there are two ways to see seamless in this context. But yeah, for a developer, you just want, like I said, it's only 3 lines of code, and you don't need to go through the whole hassle of setting up the connection, making sure you're on the right network, so you're not on mainnet if you want to sign for testnet, and that's all taken care of by Kadena Client. So just abstracting away all the problems and all the issues you can have, and you only need like 3 lines of code to get your transaction signed. So try to make it very easy for the developers.
Yeah. No, and I think that also we had a whole discussion with it about this today as well. And I think George P. next question: why is it tied with Echo Wallet? Aren't we using Wallet Connect, the standardized connection that works for all wallets implemented going forward? We had a whole discussion of why we implemented this particular case next to the Wallet Connect standard we're having. And maybe we can elaborate on that as well a little bit more.
Yeah. I think it's always good to have multiple options. Wallet Connect is a standard, and Echo Wallet also supports Wallet Connect. So theoretically, you shouldn't even need this function if you implement Wallet Connect, like the sign with Wallet Connect function. But also with other networks, with other blockchains, you also sometimes you get like an option. So you get the list of wallets that it detected, and you can leave it to the user of how they want to sign, because maybe they don't like Wallet Connect for whatever reason, and they just want to use the direct API, or they have another good reason why they would pick something else besides Wallet Connect. So it's not like an or, but it's like it's an end. Like there are multiple options, not just. And we try to provide as many options as possible to leave the decision to the end user.
Yeah, indeed. I think it's for us to actually give the dApps and wallet builders the possibility to give them the best, to be able to give them the best user experience possible. And if that is that we need to create an extra API on top of the APIs we are currently having, I think that's a plus. So yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why we started with the Echo Wallet extension, and probably if there are going to be more of these browser extensions we need to integrate, we're going to do that as well. So
I also think at this point, the sign with Echo Wallet is the most user friendly. I think if you're working with a browser extension, that is, because with Wallet Connect you get the pop-up and you can scan that QR code with your phone. But if you're on a desktop, you need to copy that connection string, paste it into the wallet, and then there's an extra step. And with this extension, with this sign with Echo function, it's just clicking it and automatically opens the pop-up to set up the session and then sign it. So it's, from a user perspective, it's easier, and it would be really nice if at some point there would be a way to just click it and set up the Wallet Connect connection. But yeah, that's something that would be nice for the future, but we're not there yet. So yeah, it's like different paths to the same destination, but you want to get want to take the easiest route to get there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Let's go to the next question, and I think that's a very nice question we got on Discord, I guess. What has your team developed that you feel is underutilized? Are you going to answer that one first?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like the Kadena client in general isn't used that much. So yeah, our team and Albert and Javad, we all put a lot of work in that, and there's not a lot of people actually using it. Like it's also very new, and we just got to the stable release, so it's not weird that it's not being used very broadly, but that's a thing. And other things, I'm not really sure. I think a lot of our features are already being used pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything that came up.
Yeah, I think the SSC server is what I think the most underutilized feature we developed at the moment. It can bring so much better user experience, but we still need to integrate it in a lot of, like, for instance, the wallets, the dApps, maybe even several backends as well. Maybe we're thinking of exposing into our GraphQL endpoints as well. So at the moment, well, it's kind of a finished product, but it's not being used that much yet. So we actually don't know stuff we have built if it's in the correct way. And of course, we're dogfooding our own technology as well, so we're using it in our own applications. But that's what I feel is most underutilized. Another question I saw in the app: how are smart wallet solutions coming along? To be honest, I do have to see how I can figure this all out. That watching watching the questions in the chat and maintaining all of this. But the smart wallet solutions are going really well. I think Andy is currently working even on a dev wallet, and you as well, Ashwin, to actually integrate a lot of smart wallet solutions. Maybe you can tell a little bit about what you're currently working on with the dev wallet as well.
Yeah. So that it started out as it's actually there are multiple things in there. We wanted to have a wallet that would easily test the dApp integrations with a wallet, so we wouldn't rely on other wallets. So if we have a new feature we want to test, like, we cannot wait for an official wallet to build it, and sometimes even easier to build yourself. And we're also checking out certain ways to be chainless, just like Link's wallet has been doing. We're trying to find a way to make it a way to decentralize. It's like a decentralized way of knowing of your preferred chain. I cannot say too much, I think, but we're also looking into that. So that's a nice feature. And yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have a dev wallet where we could try out new features, and like including smart wallets. We're trying to find new features that we want to try first before we open up to the big public and before we go to other wallet builders and let them invest their time when we don't know if it will work properly or we don't know if it's a feature that people want. So it's good to have like an internal wallet that we can use for that.
Yeah. No, indeed. I think also the stuff we're currently building with the smart wallet stuff we're building a lot of proof of concepts. So this dev wallet is one of them, but we're also integrating like spending limits, and many more features as well to actually see if this is something parental control, stuff like that. So really cool solutions, but these are just proof of concepts. So before we actually know how we're going to integrate it, how we are going to develop it, and how we're can create a good user experience, we just need to play around with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So another question I saw coming along is when Marmalade v2. Yeah, and currently I still know I did a I made a promise that we're going to release Marmalade v2 end of this month. But thanks to some great community insights from Amir and Crypto Pascal, we found out that we needed to do a little bit more of extra. We need to build some extra features and solve some problems. So the current pace, as soon as all those problems are solved, we're going to release that. So hopefully that will be in the upcoming month. To be honest, the new website and everything is already done. It's already ready. It's but we have to wait until those issues are resolved. So yeah, I had another question that I saw. What is the number of devs building right now on Kadena? If we're talking about internal developers or external, I don't know the exact number. I do know there are a lot of companies. One of them is Various, who took an interest in our chain and started building, and they have a team of 5 developers currently working on their app, and a whole team of designers as well. Well, internal, we all, of course, have the developer experience team, which is around 30 developers. But we have a great community, but I don't know the exact number, to be honest. So maybe that's
hard to know. Like,
sorry?
It's hard to know the exact number, and even a ballpark number is very hard, because even we could like guess it because of smart contracts, but you never know if there's one person on it working on it or 10, or so it's very hard. But I do see a lot of engagement everywhere, and I think we're still growing in terms of developers.
Yeah, no, indeed. There was also a question about Vue.js, right? Yeah, okay, to a bit effort. So what we did is we worked together with VueForge. So Vue Schools is one of the most prominent educators on Vue.js, and they had a big event they hold, I think twice a year, called VueForge. And he asked us to do a collaboration with them about Web3 development, because they actually had a good partner with that, and they didn't know what Web3 was all about. So we got into contact with them, I think beginning of the year, when we did the conference in the Netherlands here, the big JavaScript conference, and we actually arranged that we're going to work together on a Web3 workshop, which Ashwin presented in as well. And I think it was very well received within the Vue.js community. We saw a lot of great builders, a lot of hype, but also a lot of people didn't know what you can actually do with Web3, and how you can also abstract away some of the blockchain technology if you want to do that. So yeah, I think that's it was a great success from our part. I don't know how you feel about it, Ashwin.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, like you said, the most interesting part is a lot of people think if they build like an app or a website where they would only need blockchain, like there's no way you can combine it, or but I think you can combine it. Some parts you don't actually want to store in a blockchain. I don't want to see my email address stored publicly in a blockchain, but
No?
It would be nice to see if like with the Kickstarter example, if a project was pledged successfully, it was completed successfully, and how many pledges there were. And some things are better in a blockchain, some things are better in like a regular database as Mongo or MySQL or whatever, and you can combine these two and create the best solution for each problem you face. And that's a nice thing that I think that people really understood afterwards, because we also in the same function, we literally did a save to the blockchain, and we did a save to Firebase database. So people could actually see that it could you can make stuff better. You can make better ads by adding blockchain and not just replacing it with blockchain.
Right. Yes. Another question I saw is, when will programming on blockchain be standard to learn for devs? I think it's a really good question, and I think at the moment we are not there yet. It will probably take around, when we get like mainstream adoption, that will be learned in universities and so ever, how it should be programming on blockchain. Until then, I think we're we need to wait and do the education ourselves. I don't know what's your vision on that, Ashwin?
Yeah, I think even on I think it will take a while before this is going to be standard, like you said. Even like normal languages are not that common on a university, I guess. Like, it all depends on which direction you choose, but then blockchain would be, especially in current times, it will still be a niche where you have to be really interested in. And at the same time, there's also a lot of people that don't actually believe in blockchain. And on every birthday where I get to, people don't even know how to spell blockchain, so to say. Like, it's very hard for people to see the benefits. And I think for a university, you want to make sure that what you teach your students, it's something that they actually want to learn. And I think at this point, when you start teaching them blockchain, roughly half of them will be like, why am I learning this? I don't want to learn this. And I think it needs to be proven a bit more before that we will get to that point.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I saw a question about, can we get a timeline on Marmalade and the bridge before the website? And to be honest, no. I cannot give you a timeline. I know that a lot of people are working on the bridge. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Echo working on it, and some other companies as well. I don't know if I can spoil a lot of alpha here about that one, but there are a couple of companies that are working on the bridge at the moment, but I don't know when this will be finished. Marmalade will sure be finished before the website, 100%. I just got the new designs in, and the alpha icons build, it really looks nice, and the animations were really spot on. So it's gonna give a whole new experience and a whole new way of looking at Kadena. So I'm very stoked about the new website.
They're really trying to convince you.
Yeah, you're really trying to convince me to spoil some more alpha, but no, I cannot tell you anything about that. There also was a question about marketing for the next bull run. Do we have a plan for marketing for the next bull run? And with our latest, what I can already tell you is we are currently looking for a CMO. I think we're already in the final stages of hiring a CMO, which is going to put together a plan, indeed, a marketing plan for the next bull run. At the moment, of course, we did our own, we created our own marketing plan, but I think a CMO is much more capable of pushing the right buttons and actually, get us to where we need to be on a marketing, from a marketing perspective. So we had a pre-asked question as well, which stated, please take us through the planning and launch process for a new product / concept for Kadena, of what we can share. So normally how the all process goes is we do a lot of innovation. So we have an innovation team in the DX, in the developer experience team, that does all this innovation. For instance, like the Daal wallet, we're working on the layer 2, ZK. And when we find something that's really tangible, that's something we can really build out to a full product, we actually build a whole team around that product. And that team is then going to work on finalizing the product. While doing that, we need to incorporate marketing, communications, and stuff like that as well, especially during the end phases, before we can actually launch the product. And for Marmalade V2, that was also the case. So a lot of stuff is already ready and done, but we stumbled upon well, some setbacks, so we needed to delay the marketing part for that. But that's actually how the whole process, well, in rough lines, go, which I can share. Ashwin, I think because I already answered this question, I think in my first campfire, but I'm also very curious about how you see Kadena in 3 to 5 years.
I wish I knew. I wish I could look into the future. I think all the pieces are coming together, and we know that the docs aren't great and are a bit scattered around, and we're actively working on that. We know that the client wasn't great, and we're actively working on that. So I really feel that all the pieces are coming together. We now have Wallet Connect, where people were waiting for some time, and it really feels like a puzzle that is now being completed, or at least be more complete. So in 3 to 5 years, I think that we will be at least. I think we'll keep on growing, and I think we need to aim for the stars and land on the moon, and just keep on building and keep trying to make things better, and then we'll see. I think it's very hard to answer this question, but I really think we're on the right track, and we're trying to do the right things and to help people to launch great products. But we really need the community to get things going, and we can only help them. But it's very, very hard for me to answer where we'll be.
No, it's. I wish I also had a way to look into the future, and
crystal ball from Tyler, maybe.
That would be really great. So another question I really liked, it was a really good question. Are you working on anything now that wasn't in your initial plans / roadmap? And I can tell you a lot of things we're working on weren't in my initial plans / roadmap. For instance, Marmalade V3, which we're not actually working on it, but we did some research about that already as well. The Dev wallet, Ashwin is currently working on, that wasn't in our initial roadmap. The IDE, I think I spoiled a couple of the teasers this morning, or it was yesterday, about the VS Code integration we're working on. And these are all things that came from the community, where we get some extra insights of what we actually need to build first before we can take the next steps. So it's always great to lay down or create a roadmap, but during the building, you actually see a lot of stuff evolving, and things, you come to new insights, basically. I just had a talk this morning as well with Albert about our focus on the Kadena CLI we need to build out, which needs a lot of extra priority at the moment. So we're going to build. So that's one of the focus we're going to take forward. That's one of our focus points in Q4 as well, to actually get this developer experience to a higher level. Same as our docs content. What we did is we migrated all the content of our old docs into a new docs website, which is kind of done already. But what we now need to focus on is get the actual content itself. So we're going to form a team that's actually going to create a whole new way of getting started documentation for new developers, to not only bring them along, bring them on board of Kadena, but also keep them there. So yeah, there are a lot of things that were on our initial roadmap. I don't know if you all also have some some items.
The first thing that came to mind was the dev wallet, because we talked about it way earlier, that we might need it, and let's not do that. And then at some point we're like, all right, this will definitely help us, and let's just go for it because we think it's valuable. And I think there are a lot of things where we start building when we run into problems, or not problems, but challenges, or we try to innovate. And but I don't know any things that weren't really on the roadmap. Besides the dev wallet then, but
no, exactly. So I saw a question again. So when website then? When website? And I can. I think I already said it in previous campfires as well. For sure, the end of the year we will have a new website. I think we're also gonna tease a little bit of the new design, probably somewhere end of November, beginning of October. So that's on the roadmap as well. But as you have seen, having a roadmap doesn't say anything at all. But yeah, hopefully we can tease a little bit of the new design and new story, new vision of Kadena. Somewhere in October as well. Any idea when we scale to 50 chains? That's a good question. For now, I don't think it makes any sense to scale to 50 chains. We already did a test for scaling from 10 chains to 20 chains to actually see if we can scale. If the theory we had is to scale up to 20 chains, can be done really quickly, and that's something we already proved. I think we will scale to 50 chains when we need to scale to 50 chains. So when we see chains will get congested and stuff like that, then we will make that choice. Last week, I think Will also talked about possibly to get some EVM compatibility going on there as well. But this is just, we're still talking about different solutions. So there was just brainstorming. So for now, 50 chains is not on the roadmap or whatsoever. So do you think something like Ticketmaster will push Kadena into mainstream adoption? What company do you think is a top pick for Kadena? Maybe the first question you can answer the first question, Ashwin.
Yeah, if we would get a company like Ticketmaster to use Kadena for all their ticketing, that would be great. I also think it's a really great use case. Every ticket could be an NFT, where you wouldn't have the problem of people selling tickets illegally, and then you would end up at your favorite show and find out that your ticket has already been scanned. So you're the second one to enter the festival or the venue, and then you find out that your ticket is a copy of somebody else's, and then you have a problem. So just in terms of the uniqueness of your ticket, it's already a great use case. And also their fees are like insane. Here in the Netherlands, you had a festival and you could resell your ticket, but it would cost 40 euros. So even like $50 just to resell your ticket. It's insane. Like nobody needs to have that amount of fees. And in combination with a blockchain, with the other benefits of a blockchain, I think it would be a really good use case to have on a blockchain.
Yeah, no, indeed. And what company do you think is a top pick for Kadena? I think, in my opinion, a company that can get us mainstream adoption. And you can think of supply chain. You can think of indeed these ticketed systems, airline companies. There are multiple companies. I don't think there's one particular topic, as long as we can, well, cross that chasm to mainstream adoption. Do you maybe have one topic? Is there maybe one company you really want to see on our blockchain, Ashwin?
It's a good one. I actually really like Ticketmaster because it would be such a good use case for a blockchain, but yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, no, indeed. There are so many great choices we can pick. But for sure. Next question. I saw a question. When Emily, I know one thing. Emily did a way much better job in hosting a campfire
Great, man. Great.
than I do. But yeah, if the community wants to see her, then for surely we will make this happen. I will reach out to Tyler when he gets back from vacation to get her on a campfire as well. One other question: the most important milestone. Because I think we're almost there. But the most important milestone, and for what reason for the devs team until the end of 2023? What for you is the most important milestone, Ashwin?
I think having a stable version of Kadena client could be a very, very important milestone, because having something that we think is stable and is easy to use, that's a huge benefit. I also think the docs will really help to get people started on the chain. Like it's not there yet, but I think we'll definitely have it finished at the end of this year. Or at least, like, docs are never finished, but in a way better state than they were, and it will definitely help people to get started. And also the VS Code extension would be really nice. So the DevNet we already have. We build a DevNet in a Docker container for the ViewForge, so you can now have a locally running blockchain on your machine in just like one command, just copy paste, and it runs. And you don't need testnet, or you can test everything, and you can fund your accounts. It's really easy to get started. And now we want to build that into the Kadena CLI, so it's even easier. You can just do, I don't know, KDA devnet enter, and it runs. Just those small things, they all add up in building, in making it easier to get started and to build great things.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pick one.
Yeah. And again, I agree with you there as well. We built so many cool stuff, and I think eventually all of those packages together will give a great user experience. I think the first step, the first entry point of every developer is the docs website. So that needs to be on point for sure. So for me, if I need to pick one, the docs website is the most important milestone. Yeah. But before we can actually build a proper docs website, we also need the tooling, because we cannot write about our tooling if we don't have the tooling itself. So it's kind of a chicken and the egg problem here as well.
Yeah.
And it's a funny story about the DevNet part. The DevNet is something we wanted to have like at the beginning of the year, but we delayed it a bit because we needed to work on something else. And then Anna stepped in and accidentally built a whole DevNet experience, which we're now using, and I think a lot of developers should be using as well. So it was really nice to actually have this DevNet, and now we're building out that DevNet part as well as the main entry point for our developer experience.
Yeah, I spoke with Ennis
yeah.
today. We're also going to build the Explorer into it, so you would have a local Explorer of your own DevNet where you could see your transactions, and it would be really nice to build it out from where it already is.
Yeah, it's going to be a small ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
In a package. So that's I'm very excited. So I think that's eventually that together with the Docs website will be the most important milestone.
Yeah.
Until the end of 2023. I think we have time for one more question. But this question is more like I saw something about the previous question we had. Is yes, are you working? Let's put it up. Is anybody working on L3 solutions to bridge L2 and L1? I grab my popcorn. I think that was the one that popped up. At the moment, we're not working on an L3 solution internally. Maybe some community member is working on it. I have no idea yet. Hopefully this someone in the community now sees this and thinks, well, hey, maybe that's something I can work on, and then we will be happy to support you in this as well. So yeah, I think we got to the end of our campfire. So I want to give a shout out because I think after this there will be an after space KMC is hosting. It was a big success last time. So probably gonna move over there and talk to see what it's all about. I want to give a big shout out to the community as well. Not only the dev community, but also lately I see a lot of engagement on Twitter as well. And what was it? I really like the whole community coming together now. So I give a big shout out to all the community members. Do you have any last words as well, Ashwin?
I really like being here, and I cannot wait for what we're going to build together with the community, with us providing the right tools for it. So really looking forward to the bright future we're facing.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for, the collective. I saw it jumping by. Yeah. So really nice. All right. Then I want to thank you all, and I wish you all a good week, and talk to you soon. Thanks everyone for joining.
Ciao.